as I think that was Kieran behind them, who went up by 0.6, but they stay P12 as they spin into the barrier. And I'll tell you what, they're actually kind of lucky to not lose that rear tyre, to be honest, as that did look quite hefty. I don't think Fiznik is on a lap. Are they on a lap? They are pushing. Oh, and they go into the barrier and invalidated, touching the grass and getting a bit too heavy on the throttle, and they are losing an end plate, and that is going to be into the pits for the Red Bull and getting a new front wing for their final lap. But what can Morse do? Where can they put that Aston Martin? And it's not going to be an improvement. They stay where they are, as that's Kieran facing the wrong way, and that is not going to be an improvement for them, as they will be starting in P13 unless they can improve. Well, they can't improve. The session's pretty much over. And we do have the two Ferraris now of Liam and Blake. Liam is going to be the first one, so not heading into a wall. P3 for them. What can Blake do as they follow their teammates down on their delta and they don't improve at all as they stay where they are? The two Red Bulls now on laps. Mini Walker is the leading driver, followed by Fiznik. Mini Walker up to P2. Can Fiznik beat that? No, they can't. So Mini Walker taking that position up onto the front row as it currently stands, as I think that was Laston there. They stay in P12. Tolu couldn't improve. Kieran, I don't think improved. They invalidated, and they actually had that spin as Georgette now up to the line. What can they do in the RB? 0.2 improvement up to P4 for them. And the two McLarens, and that is basically just going to finish off the grid, isn't it? As I think Morgan Hughes actually improved by a bit there, by 0.4, and Seasick isn't improving on their time at all. As we go down to the grid for 5 red lights here to start the Zandvoort sprint in the reverse layout. Lights out, and away we go. And I do think the McLaren did get a pretty good start there, as I try and get these stuff up before we get into turn 1. Down in the back there, Georgia and Mini Walker going side by side, as there's a little bit of desync as they go 3 wide there in the background. Always the Ferrari there pushing the McLaren off, and the Haas getting through there of Wireful Lion, and the McLaren of Morgan Hughes was involved in that, goes all the way down to the back of the grid as Fiznik gets through on their teammates up to P2. Mini Walker right behind. Are there any other drivers going side by side? I think Laston maybe getting a move on bench warmer as we go down into what is turn 10 there, sorry, and they nearly go side by side, as I think that was Benchwarmer nearly getting tagged there by Tolu, but they remain facing the right way. Wireful Lion though is really closing in on the RB. Can they get that move going into the next few corners? As I don't think they are going to be able to. They will stay in P5. Morgan Hughes already trying to make some moves from where he was. As I think Kieran might have had a moment, but starting on those medium tyres, what is he looking to do? Well, the first thing is going into a wall, and he's going to have to bring that back to the pits very carefully and change if he has any damage. But looking at that front wing, he doesn't have anything. Fiznik still trying to get this move, but as you can see, DK, it says on the timing screens that he's 1 minute and 12 seconds in front. I can assure you that is not correct. Always Fiznik and Mini Walker having some lag there, as I think Mini Walker gets through out there. Liam also getting passed by Wireful Lion, or Wireful Lion getting the move on Liam, and now going into what is effectively turn 9, or what is turn 9, if I should say. Can Liam hold that down the inside? Still very close racing. Yes, he does. As I think there was a move in the background there, but I think it might have been Lasserdon that did get tagged in that. Any other moves being side by side, and I think we are seeing Blake down the inside of Seasick. And I'll tell you what, that was a very clean and committed move, but he got tapped on the curb there, and Seasick gets the repass, and Blake is ghosting through that Alpine there. Can he get that move stick going into the turn? They're still side by side, but I want to see what's going on with this, as there's a few fastest laps being set there. They are still ghosting through each other as they finally unghost Seasick in front. But I do know that there was a car on the inside of him, so whether that will be changed or not, I do not know. But Georgette gets a nice little move down the inside of the Red Bull there, as Wireful Lion might be able to get his nose stuck in as well, maybe. But into turn 1, that was a pretty clean move there from the RB. Tolu, oh, it's Cole at a moment. No, Blake's gone round. What has happened to Blake? Just started losing a few positions. There's no damage, so maybe just a slight half spin or something, but that is so unfortunate for Blake there. Fiznik, Mini Walker's got a 10-second penalty. We've got a safety car. What happened to Mini Walker? Oh, he's in a wall. Is anyone else in a wall? Georgia's missing a front wing. I think there might have been a bit of contact, so I think that might have been maybe contact under the safety car. And that 10-second obviously cannot be removed in a sprint race. DK in, we're a full line as well. Seasick also in, Tolu in, and Moore's in. Oh, Moore's actually just decided to go into the back of Tolu there. Cole, Lasserdon, Georgia, and Minnie Walker. So let's see where they will come out compared to Liam. So he will be able to... I think he will still be on the limiter effectively. And honestly, I think Liam might have been able to do something. Oh no, DK's already out on the thing, but Liam is into P2 there. And behind them, Fiznik gets through on C6. C6 stays behind. And Benchwarmer is in P7. And Blake is in P11. Still not on the overtake or anything. He's going to leave it as late as possible, and he still hasn't gone yet. When is he going to go? He's on the medium, and now he is gone. Liam is going to try and get it as well. Fiznik already trying to get a move on the Haas here, as they are looking to go too wide in the back, though. Let's go to that fight as we see Georgia down the inside of Tolu. That got very close, but no contact there. Can Minnie Walker get through on that? No, he can't, as I think Morgan Hughes there is basically letting everyone go. I don't know why he did that, as Tolu still trying to make a move on Minnie Walker. He goes a little bit deep in doing so, but Minnie Walker trying to get the switch back is blocked off by that Haas, and Blake now is going to get the inside of Minnie Walker. Will turn to the outside for turn 10. Around the outside the Ferrari goes. Can he get that move stick with that power, as Minnie Walker has a slight snap? Down the inside is Blake. And can he get that move stick on the inside now going into turn 9? Yes, he does. Blake up to P11, as Morgan Hughes is still in last position at the moment, but not looking to go down the inside, it doesn't look like, as Moore's trying to go down the inside of the Red Bull. That got very close there. As Morgan Hughes holds it down the inside, and the Aston Martin just goes off the track there, and that was a pretty easy overtake there for Morgan Hughes. Well, oh, that's Tolu into the wall there. Don't question why I had a voice break mid-sentence there, but Tolu with a missing end plate, getting a bit too much on the power, I think, through turn 7 into the wall. Oh, Minnie Walker getting really close to Blake there, losing a position to Morgan Hughes, but gets it back down the inside going into turn 11. And he is going to be in a bit of a battle here, and a bit of a drag race going down into turn 10, side by side between those two. Who's going to get the better traction on the exit? Is it going to be the McLaren? Is it going to be the Red Bull? Minnie Walker still holding it down the inside. And can he get that move stick? Yes, he can. Minnie Walker stays in P11 somehow. Yellow flags, that is Moores, who has gone off. Has he broken the front wing though? Let's see. That is the next question. He's still in front of Tolu. No, the front wing is still intact, but he's definitely had an off. As Benchwarmer gets through on Georgia there, as Georgia is actually going the wrong way. We're not doing the normal format yet. That's in the feature race, not the sprint race. Finally gets going the right way though. Oh! Again, excuse the voice break, but DK is now in P2. We're full line in first. Liam is going to charge around the outside of the McLaren. What happened to the McLaren? I am not too sure, but Liam not able to get the move on the McLaren. Did the McLaren have like a spin or something? But we're full line could be here to get a win for Haas. That'll be brilliant to see. 4 laps to go. A Haas in the lead. DK down the inside. Oh, what? Okay, that is a race ban. Surely that is a race ban. He just completely tried to take out the Haas. Always Fiznik goes down the inside of the McLaren. Does the McLaren back out? No, he doesn't. He does leave enough space, to be fair to him, so maybe it was some sort of failure, but now we have a Mercedes go down the... Oh, no. Okay. Yep. It's purposeful. I think this is definitely on purpose now. That was definitely intentional. Oh, Laston, though, trying to make a move on the McLaren. Not able to. The McLaren's gone off again. He does come out in front. Does he spin anyone? Somehow he doesn't. But that was definitely an unsafe rejoin as well. So we'll add that to the long list of things that he's done wrong in this race. Yellow flags in the back. I want to spectate Liam, as he has technically controlled this race brilliantly and has somehow won the sprint race. He can thank DK for that. Seasick in P2. DK somehow finishing in P3, but I really hope he doesn't start the feature race. Lasserdon in P4, Fiznik P5, Benchwarmer P6, Minnie Walker P7, Morgan Hughes in P8. Fair play to him, to be fair, from what happened in the first lap. George at P9, Blake P10, Carl P11, and then We're Full Lion Very unfortunate for him, will finish in P12, Moores in P13, and Tolu in P14. And then it'll be Kieran, who obviously didn't finish. But that is your results for the sprints. As we go down to 5 red lights, as you can see, everyone is starting on the intermediates, and it is going to be lights out, and away we go. And I do think the Ferrari did get a pretty good start there, and I think even DK actually somehow behind got a better start, but no, as there are actually a couple of drivers starting on wets there, but we are going 3 wide in the background there. That's Mini Walker again going off the track there all the way down to last. As Benchwarmer gets up into P5, are they still remaining? It's side by side with the RB round the outside, somehow gets the move. Morgan Hughes dives it down the inside as well, gets the move as well. Benchwarmer still trying to hold it around the outside, as I think Blake there also trying to get in on this as well. As we see a few more drivers dropping down, George it down to P9, as we are seeing 2 drivers there going off the track. That was DK and Laston. DK still at his little mind games, and somehow he is still remaining in this race somehow. But Morgan Hughes still in P6, the only clean McLaren driver there is on the grid right now, as we are seeing We're a Full Line trying to make a move on Blake there, but not able to get it on the full wet tyres, as he's also missing an end plate as well. Kieran and Moore's actually had a moment there. He was half spinning through turn 7. Quite a good session today, as Blake dives it down the inside of Morgan Hughes, and Morgan Hughes sees him coming, and Blake gets that position quite nicely. I mean, it's a bit tricky to still do it in the wets, but, you know, hey-ho, as Tolu and George are going side by side into turn 1. And they're still going to remain at side by side. Bit of contact going into turn 2. And Tolu gets that move stick finally and gets up into P10. Georgette is going to be looking in his mirrors, as this is a Mercedes that is wanting to get the position. He takes the same line that Fisnik tried to do, which eventually got him in the position. The Mercedes still holding it down the inside. Is he going to get the move stick? Latest on the brakes, side by side into turn 1, going a bit deep, pushing the RB off a little bit. And yeah, very sportsmanlike there to give the position back. And the Mercedes has dropped out of a second. Obviously, DRS isn't really a thing, but we are going to see 3 wide here at the back, as Seasick and Tolu going side by side into turn 1 there, nearly. As I think We're a Full Lion is giving us some good awareness there to not really fight his teammate, but trying to keep Seasick behind. Heading down into turn 1. Is DK going to try and make an awful send here? You know what? Fair play. Fair play. Is DK going to also try a send on the Ferrari there? Very close, but I'll tell you what, he isn't tyre locking with that Ferrari. But it is going to be a slight drag race going into turn 11. Who's going to win or not? Who's going to win out? And it is going to be DK latest on the brakes, side by side in the wet. Little bit of contact, but I'll tell you what, fair play to both drivers there. DK now up into P10. 17 seconds. 17 seconds between DK and Fisnik. Oh my days. Fisnik got through, I think, on like the first, on like lap 3, and then from there he's just been gaining and just getting quicker and quicker. All as Blake now gets the move on the Mercedes, and now he has been unleashed. He can now try and chase after P4 and P3. Yeah, it's definitely not slicks. Oh, Liam having a massive snap there. Lasserdon really having to step out of the step out the throttle there. Blake 18.9, so he's now responding. Let's see if Fisnik can get like a 17 next lap. Or is Tolu going to try and make a move down the inside of Morgan Hughes? Yes, he does, but Morgan Hughes with the switchback. And that was that was well played there from Morgan Hughes to spot that. And I think we're going to see everyone in the pits here. But this is going to be a question for Ferrari. I know they are spaced out, but if you try and double stack, you need to be at least like 8 seconds behind or something. DK also comes in. I'm going to watch the pit lane cuts here because I think there could be a few. Blake also in. Liam is also going to be coming in as well. Lasserdon, but yeah, everyone's coming in. As that's Benchwarmer going a little bit wide there. And yep, like I said, Ferrari getting held. I said, oh, yellow flags, that's Tolu in a wall. And he's going to have to be very careful to rejoin. Eventually gets going again, but what happened to him? Morgan Hughes is actually running a little bit lean on fuel there. Oh, Liam is electing to go side by side with the McLaren here. Treating the fans to some action here. Side by side, going into turn 2. Morgan Hughes has to stay behind for the time being, and is looking quick. And Liam and Morgan Hughes still treating us to a battle here, as Liam dives it down the inside. Georgia fastest lap. Is Morgan Hughes going to try and dive it back down the inside? And he thought about it. but decides to back out. Mini Walker and Seasick, though, going side by side through turn 1. And they're going to pop there, possibly hold it through turn 2, which they do. Very close to contact through turn 3. Mini Walker stays in front. Is Seasick going to try the switchback? He tried, but then backs out. Someone's round. That is Kieran. Eventually gets back facing the right way, though. Well, it's a bit of both, to be honest. But he does go for the move up to the lead. Oh, bench warmer around the outside of Blake. Bench warmer up to P3. Anyone else? Anyone else? This is Morgan Hughes maybe going to try and make a move on Liam as well. Down the inside he goes. Into turn 1 as, I'll tell you what, Liam holds that round the outside quite nicely. And keeps P7 there. Fair play. Here's Mini Walker closing in on Morgan Hughes. Down the inside he's going to try it. Can he get that move stick? Yes, he does. I think he was also trying to make the move on the Ferrari as well, but only gets past on 1. Is he going to look down the inside into turn 2? No, he doesn't, but he thought about it. It probably won't be long though until he gets the move. Oh, nearly pushes Morgan Hughes off the track there. That was a bit dangerous there, but I don't know. Oh, as that's Mini Walker round. I think he tapped the side of Liam. And Morgan Hughes had to react to that as well. Morgan Hughes, or Mini Walker, sorry, back down to P9. And now Blake back up into. Oh, someone spun. That's Georgia. And I think he might have reset to track, and that's a cut lane pit as well. And oh, is that DK? DK's off. He went off through turn 8. I don't know how he did that, but now he's lost all of that place. Does he have any damage? No visual damage, but what happened to DK? As Laston going very defensive there. Liam is going down the inside of the McLaren. Can he get that move stick? Still side by side. They're very close to contact, but there's very compliant drivers there. Still side by side into turn 2. No, Liam just backs out. Yellow flags. Oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Well, that's Tolu with another spin. I just realised, wait, when did Morgan Hughes get past on Lasserdon? I don't know, but DK wins the race. A 10th behind is Fisnick, so Fisnick will take the lead with those sprint penalties. He might even lose a place to Blake as well. Blake comes through to take P3 with Benchwarmer in P4. And so yeah, DK I think might drop down to P4. Morgan Hughes will come across the line as he will take P5 when he gets to the line. There he does. Lasserdon up to P6. Mini Walker will take P7, Seasick P8, Liam P9, Carl P10, Willful Lime in P11, and then Georgette will take P12 unless they don't spin. But I think Georgette will get it just on time penalties if we actually go to the penalties. Obviously, Tolu has already finished. Yeah, Willful Lime has 3 seconds worth of penalties. So Georgette will take that regardless. And then Tolu will get the position, and then it's Moz and Kieran who are the DNFs in this race.